Yo, I think the Pelicans may revisit that Raptors trade. I've heard some interesting things. Shout out to my boy. You know what I'm saying? Heard some interesting things about what's going on with the Raptors. I wouldn't be shocked to see the Pelicans revisit that. You got Gary Trent Jr., you got OG Anunoby, you got Pascal Siakam. You got some guys out there who may be available, right? And I wouldn't be shocked to see the Pelicans revisit that. And hey, there's two ways to look at it, right? You can say, okay, OG has one less year on this contract. You know what I'm saying? So his value's down. Gary Trent, I believe he's going into his last year. I think he has a player option. He may opt out. Well, you know what? He may not opt out because he didn't get much PT down the run. So he may not have as good of a market as he initially expected. So he may stick with that contract and try to regain some value, right? So that's an expiring for them. And I think a couple of their assets may have decreased in value, especially if those assets want out of that situation, right? So the other side of that, though, is that this is such a weak free agency class that those guys may maintain some of that value. Teams may look at them as like, trading for a free agency acquisition. That is also a possibility. But looking at guys now, as far as y'all know, I think Gary Trent Jr. would be an excellent acquisition. Another guy who's really good in the pick and roll, can shoot off the dribble, create for himself, get to the rim. You know what I'm saying? Hell of a player. Then you got OG, hell of a player, defensive guy, prototypical 3-and-D guy. Think he got some Jaylen Brown in him. Can depending on how they round out this coaching staff, can continue to develop him, help hone his craft. Shout out to CJ also, wishing him a healthy surgery and a speedy recovery. Shout out to that brother. But that is a trade that could be revisited. And I'm really curious to see, like, if they can convince CJ to go to the bench. Because that is so critical at this point. If you can convince CJ to go to the bench, that would change a lot. That would help significantly because you got a guy who's possible dropping 40 any given night coming off the bench. Maybe everyone takes turns. Maybe it's I know OG may want to be a more focal part of the offense, but maybe you got guys taking turns initiating the offense. Herbs can initiate the offense. We know what Zion could do. We know what Brandon could do. You know what I'm saying? And that allows Trey to just run around like Klay Thompson, getting open shots, just breaking down the defense, doing his thing. But it's all relying upon CJ agreeing to go to the bench. And I have a really hard time seeing CJ doing that just because of what he went through this season. And pride and all that stuff. It would take. I don't even know who could talk to him. It would take like Isaiah Thomas. I'm talking about Zeke. It would take Zeke coming to talk to CJ. Like, look, you got to go to the bench, brother. You want to win? You got to come off that bench. You got to let OG or Buddy Hill, whoever, you got to let them start, and you come off the bench, and that's how you're gonna maximize your value at this point. So we shall see. But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if the Pelicans revisit that OG Anunoby or Gary Trent Jr. trade, because they were this close. And the Raptors just pulled the rug from under them. Like, nah, we ain't doing nothing. They stood pat and they went for it. And the way their season ended, I think they're gonna break that team up. But again, we shall see. This podcast is sponsored by the Birdsall Law Firm, the official injury lawyers of Boot Krewe Media, located at 918 Porter Street by the Superdome. Give them a call at 504-523-5413 if you or someone you know has been involved in an accident, and be sure to mention we sent you. Birdsall Law Firm, the official injury lawyers of Boot Krewe Media.